Hey everybody, how's it going? It is Matt, and it is another movie for you. It is, what is it, Bloodthirsty Thursday already? It's hard to believe the week's almost over. It flew by with the holiday. First and foremost, I hope each and every one of you had a great holiday, had a Merry Christmas. Hopefully you got some good stuff. Hopefully you got to hang out with your family and some friends. Do that fun thing that you do every year around this time. Hopefully, whatever it is you do, hopefully you got to do it. Now, on to today's movie. I don't know why I just said it all weird like that. I'm just gonna go with it though. It is what it is. I say stuff weird all the time. It's part of my shtick, I guess. Now, today's movie is from 2011. It's got a bunch of faces in there that only one of them I recognized, and I think that was Karyn Halpin or something like that. I can't remember. Plays the teacher in this, and it is very, very weird. Other than that, we got Beth Cantor, Christopher Patrick Donoghue, Nathan Durec, Dustin Elkins, Karyn Halpin, and Des Larson. And this is directed by none other than Ryan Nicholson. And that is Famine. Yes, what a weird little movie this was. I like this 20 students, 20 hours, 20 horrible ways to die. I like that catchphrase there. It's very tagline. That's very cool. Now, what is it about? It's pretty simple. You got a teacher named Mr. Balszack, who was horribly disfigured 2 years before on this in the previous famine, which a famine is you go 24 hours without food. You can drink. You can. I'm sure there's other things you can't do, but eating is the main thing. I think that's a little crazy, a little extreme. I don't know how anybody can do that, go a whole day without eating. I mean, it's physically possible. It just sounds horrendous to do, it's something. I'm fat, so that would be bad for me to do. I mean, I got enough stored away, body fat stored away, that it'll be okay. I just don't want to do something of that nature. So, Mr. Balszack gets horribly disfigured 2 years before at the previous famine. Now they decide they're going to do another famine, and they're very, very, very reluctant about it. I don't blame them to be hesitant just because of the previous accident, and nobody's seen Mr. Balszack since. Very, very easily, you can figure out who the killer is just by thinking, like, just by that little bit. It's pretty darn easy. It's very, very simple. You're at the night there. You got your standard cliche high school kids. You got the popular kids hanging out, and they got their hair all done and their makeup all perfect and looking all attractive and whatnot, whatever it is. The one dude looks really funny. He's got these really big big teeth, and he kind of reminds me of a really young Richard Brake. He kind of looks like him a little bit. It's almost eerie. Like if they ever did a movie where they had a young version of him, they totally could use this guy. That's how close he looked to him. At least I felt that way. And then you got a Asian fella who has a hankering for pastries, Little Debbie snacks, like the Swiss rolls. That's what they kind of look like, the Swiss rolls. He was masturbating with them. Very, very strange. Kind of gross. Very, very gross. You got some really cool kills in here. That is definitely the coming attraction. That's the main event. That's why you're here for, because Ryan Nicholson was great at coming up with ways to kill someone and making it cringy and making it cool at the same sense, and being very splattery and just fun. Now Ryan Nicholson has passed away, which rest in peace. I know a lot of people had a lot of beef with him over the gutter balls situation. You know what? I understand both. I understand you guys and your frustration and your anger, because that was a lot of money that you guys were basically went without. But now, thanks to Stephen Biro over at Unearthed Films, he's re-releasing all of the Nicholson line, and it happens to have Gutterballs 2 in there, and he is helping out all the people that got kind of screwed, I guess, in that, because he's going to release Gutterballs 2 and hook everybody up that was a part of that Indiegogo. Hopefully they have all their paperwork still in line, because that could be the deciding factors for them getting it or not. Now, this movie was made in 2011. It hadn't got an American release until now. It just came out like last week, I believe it was. I didn't get mine till Christmas Eve. I got one. It finally came in the mail. Sometimes when you order off of Amazon, you save a few bucks, but you tend to wait a little longer when it comes to these brand new releases. You usually wait a good 5 to 10 days, which is kind of annoying. This is the first time that's ever happened with that. Usually I get it within a couple of days. Now, I'm not going to make this video very long, just because I want you guys to check it out and tell me what you think of it. What did you think of the gore? Was the gore cool enough? How was the acting? I thought it was god awful. It was some of the worst acting, but I'm guessing that's what he wanted, because most of his films, his actors aren't very good. You know, it's not his key point. I do laugh at there's one of the teacher in here who's volunteering to do this. She walks around with her purse on her shoulder almost the entire film. There's only at the very, 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 very end is when she decides, oh, hey, I'm going to stop carrying this red purse that I've had around my shoulder the whole movie, which makes no sense. There's a girl in here, very, very attractive, tall, who is the most obnoxious girl ever. She screams at you randomly, just so obnoxious. She's your final girl. She's your main. I don't know how a lot of people can put up with her, just because she's so freaking annoying. Now let's get on to ratings of this. Technical side. This is a goddamn mess. Like, there is gaping plot holes. There's things that happen in this that make zero sense. Like, at one point, our lead girl, she decides she's gonna take this air compressed nail gun, and at one point you see her with it. Then the next minute you see her running down these stairs and she doesn't have it. And you fast forward to her down the stairs and then she has it again. Like, terrible, terrible continuity there. There's a part where when the killer finally reveals themselves, they show another person walking around in the digger costume, which made no sense, because that was how could the killer be walking around in the costume when they're right there? And I don't know if he planned on doing a sequel to this. I hope not, because this is bad. Like, I can't stress how bad this movie is. It's a frickin' wreck all the way from beginning to end. Like, oh, it's only one that you have to see to believe. I don't suggest buying this. I suggest borrowing it from some sucker who bought it, or streaming it, or unless you are a completist like me and I need to complete. I need to have. I don't need to. I want every single Unearthed release that there is, and to date, I have all of them except for 2, which is crazy to think that I have the entire catalog, which I absolutely love and adore. That's just basic. That's not counting Blu-rays. I don't have any of their Blu-rays yet. I may go back and get Blu-rays and double dip on everything that I have that's blue, just because I am such a completionist when it comes to them. And being that this is a part of the Ryan Nicholson line, I am super duper excited for Gutterballs 1 and 2. I want to see what they did with Live Feed. Alarming or Big BFM, Big Fucking Monster looks interesting. It's probably going to be a wreck just like this because it was never really completed. Torched will be awesome. Hanger, I love those two. Those are great. I'm very, very excited for what they do down the line. So I'm going to give this thing a whopping 1 on the technical side. This thing is, like I said, it's a god awful wreck. Now, as far as entertainment side, it's slightly entertaining. It's really not that good all the way around. I mean, I feel like if this was not an Unearthed film and I bought this, I'd be a little upset because it's so bad. I'm going to give it a 2. So it's got a whopping 3. This is probably one of the worst rated films I've done in a while. This one is very, 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 very bad. Like, I'm gonna set it down. That's how much I don't like it. So we got a 3. I'm gonna get the hell out of here. I hope each and every one of you have a fantastic day. I got a really gory good one, interesting one lined up for tomorrow, and then off for the weekend, and then back to our excuse me, our normal routine of Monday through Friday reviews. And I have a few lined up already for next week. I can't wait to show you these guys. All right, as always, have a great day. Like, share, and subscribe, and peace.